morning. Welcome to Pete's Garage. Today, I am going to be putting a lift kit on my truck. The Off-Road Designs heavy-duty crossmember for the four-wheel drive Suburbans and K5s and K-trucks requires a minimum of 2 inches of lift to give you the clearance that you need for the crossmember to the front differential. And I can tell you from experience that it is absolutely necessary. So, I'll be installing this. Easy enough. 2 springs, 2 blocks, a bunch of U-bolts. Shouldn't take too long. A few shocks. Hopefully, this will be a short kick, but yeah. Anyways, so, on to it. Alright, so the instructions said with the engine running and the wheels barely scrubbing, so I've got a jack under the front axle, just got them lifted at a point where there's just a tiny little bit of tire touching the ground. And then over a period of about half an hour, you're supposed to slowly work the wheel back and forth and slowly increase the increments over half an hour to get to full lock to lock. And periodically I'm supposed to check to see if the fluid's getting aerated. And if it is, I have to stop and let it settle for 20 minutes. Already the noise that the pump is making is less. We'll see. Well, as I said, this is Pete's Garage, and so everything didn't go quite as smoothly as I wanted it to. I did run into a couple of little problems. The biggest problem that I ran into is that the new springs have the wrong bushings, or more specifically, they have the wrong size bolt hole for the bushings. So on the old springs, all the springs use the normal size spring bolts, which are big 5/8. The rear hole on these springs takes 7/16 bolts. So what I'm doing is I'm going to have to modify this shackle, and what I'll do is I'll drill this hole out and insert a bushing inside the drilled out hole, which has a 7/16 hole in it, which will take the smaller bolt. Without that, it would be rattling around and it would overlap, and that would eventually fail. So I'll get on to that and then the springs will go right in.